We begin tonight with a show of broad support at the State House for the Safe Communities Act. The bill would place stronger limits on cooperation between local authorities and federal enforcement of immigration laws. Civil rights groups say this would increase public safety for all residents as well as access to human services.
The local police has the duty to protect the community, not to work as federal immigration agents. Sometimes they're called peace officers, and maintaining the peace is important. You cannot maintain the peace while you're acting as a federal immigration enforcer. This is quite the opposite of what their primary duty is, to protect the community.
We need the Safe Communities Act in our community now because we need to build that trust between our community, no matter where they come from, no matter what their immigration status is, between that community and the local police officers. If our community doesn't have that trust to report any type of crimes, not only our community, it will be accessible or vulnerable to be victims of any type of crimes, and the police won't be able to get anything or chase any of the real criminals in our community.
Their job isn't to work for the Federal Immigration and Customs Enforcement or ICE agents. They're not ICE agents. They're police officers, and their job is to keep all of us safe. When they work for ICE instead, they drive people who might be victims or witnesses to crime underground, and that makes all of us less safe and all of us less free.
Our children were calling and requesting help and assistance for their parents that's being abused because their parents are too afraid to call on the police or to report, to come forward physically to report those crimes. It's a moral duty for the Commonwealth to pass the Safe Communities Act to protecting immigrant rights and to making sure that the Commonwealth is safe for all immigrants.
Immigrants are terrified of seeking help from law enforcement, and it bleeds over to other things too. They're afraid of contacting any kind of institution, like including hospitals. They're afraid to call ambulances. They're afraid to report workplace violations. This is a problem not just for immigrant communities and their families, but it's also a problem for the rest of us because this has public health and public safety consequences when police and courts are involved in civil deportations.
Meanwhile, opponents of the bill say it would make the state a magnet for immigrants engaged in criminal activity.